Ukraine's capital is still being bombed. But Donald Trump says Vladimir Putin wants the war to end.
President Putin wants to have peace now, and that's good. And he didn't want to have peace with Biden.
After speaking with his Russian counterpart for more than an hour, both leaders agreed to begin negotiations and hold face-to-face talks in Saudi Arabia soon.
I think we'll probably end up at some point getting a ceasefire in the not-too-distant future.
Ukraine's leader was next, his conversation with President Trump lasting about an hour.
We
believe that America's strength is sufficient to pressure Russia and Putin into peace, together with us, together with all our partners.
While this is a step towards ending the war, negotiating a deal that both sides agree to is the next challenge. And the messages coming from the US indicate unwanted ramifications for Ukraine. At a meeting of Ukraine's military allies in Brussels, the US Defence Secretary delivered this blunt statement, a significant shift in US policy on the war.
Returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective. Chasing this illusionary goal will only prolong the war and cause more suffering.
It would be an invitation to all of the world's tyrants and despots to invade their neighbours with complete impunity.
The Trump administration says NATO membership is not a realistic outcome for Ukraine either, suggesting Kyiv will have to abandon some of its key war aims in order to achieve peace.
Nearly 3 years into Russia's invasion, Australian politicians gather to hear the harrowing experience of a Ukrainian veteran. The 21-year-old describes how he was severely injured by an enemy drone and expresses gratitude to this country for its medical and military support.
I would like to thank Australia for all the support.
But just hours after the United States unveiled a radical new approach to the war, there's deep alarm about the Trump administration's peace plan with Moscow.
It sounds like their non-negotiable position is that they get to keep all of the land that they have taken from Ukraine in war. That is appeasement.
We need to make sure that when we make commitments to our friends, that we honour those commitments.
And a warning that Pentagon's new concessions to Russia could embolden its ally China in this region.
We are getting into a very dangerous grounds at the moment. If might is right, it opens up lots of security issues.
The Trump administration's attempts to bring to an end what it calls a ridiculous war will have foreign policy implications for Australia. Strident criticism of Russia and military aid to Ukraine could both be stopped or greatly toned down. On the other hand, the Pentagon says it's moving to prioritise deterring war with China in the Pacific, exactly what Australia's defence policy is focused on.